Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication.
Hello, welcome to Mercy TV, your source for news and information on the medical cannabis issue as it unfolds here in Oregon and across the world. Greetings. My name is Perry, and along with PK and Eddie, the Weedman, we'll be hosting this segment of Mercy TV. Yeah. Eddie, do you want to do the introduction?
Hey,
entourage here.
Yes, here. This is Claire Hall.
Hello.
Lincoln County Commissioner Claire Hall, all the way from Lincoln County. We had a nice little drive. This is Scott, Amy, Tori, and you all know PK.
And Perry.
And Perry.
The president of Mercy Center.
And
our computer whiz.
This Mercy TV is an action item of Mercy, the Medical Cannabis Resource Center. Find out more about us at mercycenters.org, where you can also see past episodes of Mercy TV.
My Garden.
My Garden, too.
And you can also see past episodes that we've done in the last 5 months or so on YouTube under Newport Weedman.
There you go. So stay tuned here to Channel 23 for more Mercy TV like My Garden, starring PK and a family of cannabis plants.
And remember, you can call in tonight at 503
588
64
44.
Great.
Please don't be afraid. Get out of the closet. Register, vote, be aware of what's happening in the legislation.
There we go.
Yep.
Well, we've prepared a few questions to ask Claire here, and we're going to share in those, guys, tonight. And I'd like to ask you, Claire, why, if it's okay, guys, with you, we'll go ahead and ask Claire, why do we have so many issues with cannabis laws in this country?
Oh, lots of reasons, in my opinion. I think for one thing that you've got the federal government, the state government, local governments involved in various aspects of regulation. And I think it's just still, even though I think things have come great strides in the last 20 years or so, we're still dealing with a lot of ignorance, fear, prejudice. You know, it took this country, I think only, 13, 14 years to realize that alcohol prohibition was a big mistake, something that didn't work. Took 75 years, really, for cannabis prohibition to start to be overturned. So, my opinion, following this issue, following public policy, you know, that a lot of it is still dealing with that just ignorance and fear. But programs like this, you know, things like what you're doing, more and more people are getting educated every day. So progress, that's what I look for.
Do you think the county and the city governments have a role in? What's their role in?
Well, what Oregon did when, you know, once we legalized beyond individual growing, that what they put on the city and the counties to do was regulate time, manner, and place, essentially deciding where cannabis could be grown, processed, and sold. And you know, I think around the state, some communities are kind of more enlightened, more progressive than others. You know, you know, I think in some places, you know, even though the people have spoken pretty overwhelmingly on this issue again and again, I think some elected officials still continue to fight it.
You know,
but
like the, you know, gun issue.
Yeah.
You know, the people are hugely, you know, popular towards the laws, you know, on that
And their
effect,
Second Amendment rights.
and still, you know, just the way it can go. So that's a measure of the special interests lined up against it, and that's cannabis's problem.
Yeah, and one thing I think we haven't talked about, but I'm sure I'm not telling you folks anything you don't know, is the power and the money that the pharmaceutical industry.
Oh, that's just one.
Yeah, you know, that's maybe one of the big ones. But, you know, I mean, I say pharmaceutical industry, where would this world be without penicillin, without insulin? They've done some good, but, you know, so many things we were talking before the program where the cure is more damaging than what you're taking the
side effects.
Condition.
Exactly, the side effects, yeah. But but absolute, there's just so much money there, law enforcement. I know a lot of people in law enforcement, and I know a lot of them who actually have become pretty enlightened on this issue, but others who'll still tell you, oh, it's a gateway drug, and,
all the reefer madness.
Yeah, exactly.
Need to educate them about the endocannabinoid system, maybe.
Yes.
That's a solution.
Yes.
So
Right.
what do you think, may I ask, as the public, we as the people can do to make things better for
Well,
us?
like PK said, people need to register, vote. They need to go to meetings. They need to talk to their elected officials.
Right, town halls and
Yep,
stuff.
town
yeah.
halls. I mean, when your senators, both our Oregon U.S. senators, Ron Wyden and Jeff Merkley, have a town hall every county, every year, and I think, they're basically very supportive, but they need to hear from people. They need to see from people who say, at the federal level, we got to address things like the banking issue. I mean, at the federal level, we were talking before the program, the new Farm Bill, it basically delists hemp and clears the way for hemp production, and I hope that that's going to be opening the door that next time around they look at cannabis in the same way, look at it as a beneficial crop.
Absolutely.
Not as something that we should fear or hate or
It's
I
good
don't
to
know.
hear a politician
Yeah.
with those views.
Yeah, well,
May I ask, do you have any issues with people using cannabis medically?
oh, of course not. No. I mean, I've known too many people who have been helped by it. It has brought them relief from so many conditions, so many issues. Yeah.
Well, last week we had our friend
Peg.
Charlotte from New Orleans, right? Right?
Shaney.
Shane.
Oh, yeah. She saw us on Facebook
Yeah.
and called in.
Yep.
Good.
And I believe we're invited to the carnival next
know.
year.
Oh, Mardi Gras?
Yeah,
The
we
big
could
one?
all
Oh,
go.
cool.
Yes.
Oh, yes. We should all attend and, make sure we're visiting with our Shaney.
Yeah.
See how she's doing. And Shaney, we hope you're listening this evening. You
Yeah.
are in our thoughts and prayers. I have been watching what's going on.
Were you able to
And those pads that you're wearing are breaking my heart.
Yeah.
were you able to send her some medicine?
We haven't quite connected to that point yet. We're working on things right now. She's at a state where she's not able to communicate that on that level
And
yet.
Commissioner, I mean, she's blind without this.
Oh, my gosh.
She's
Yeah.
literally blind. Remember, Perry?
Yeah.
Is it glaucoma that she's dealing with
Oh, I
or
don't
other
remember,
vision
but
issues?
There
but-
are
Brain
so
damage.
many
Oh, yeah.
conditions going on that, yes,
Yeah.
you really should follow her if you don't get a little idea.
Okay.
Me mentioning anything would be bringing up people's personal private health concerns
There you
on national TV, and that's
Sure.
just really inconsiderate to people.
Understand.
And
Sure.
we'll let her bring up
Okay.
what her conditions are.
Okay.
Well, she's told us all about them.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we have a
Told
couple
us
of.
about all
You
that.
can
show there where she
follow
mentioned
last week's episode.
Okay.
Cool.
I put
So,
a couple of questions if you want to go
Opinions
follow along
on
with that.
using cannabis recreationally there.
Yeah, I think we've got to decide, I think we got to look at it similarly to alcohol, that people should use it responsibly, and I think most adults can and will, but, no prejudice. If,
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly,
Like you say,
yeah,
Civil
just-
libertarian thing. an
Yeah,
equal,
basically, yeah. Live and
an
let live.
Actual equal right under the law.
Yes.
Boom, test, and that thing
Yes.
has failed miserably across it. It's been almost unconstitutional in the level of disparity there.
Oh,
so.
I know. I'm with you totally on that.
The propaganda that the government put on us since 1930,
Right.
Yep.
And now
before then,
it's got
you
so
could
bad that
find
those are
this-
part of the special interest. The law enforcement needs the money. They don't
Yeah.
get money like that for anything else, so they have to keep the war going.
Uh-huh.
You
I
know?
mean, yeah, the whole-
all these nonprofit groups, the Partnership for Drug-Free
Yep.
America.
Yep.
All these, they're and worse, they're also running these rehab centers, which is another reason they're keeping the war going. And you find out that it's a group like the Sadlers who's also pumping out the opioids at the same time. One
It's a
end of the
huge
thing.
money machine, and
The
the-
hypocrisy,
Exactly.
yeah,
it's
you mentioned the
downright
war.
evil, right?
Yeah,
So-
the war on drugs, one of the worst. I mean, in terms of wasted money, damaged lives, lost lives, one
And
of the
we
worst.
fund it.
Yeah, one of the
Through
worst
our
things
tax
I know
dollars.
this country has ever done.
And damage to civil liberties. We're at a low-level civil
Yeah,
war
yeah.
with this thing going on.
Excuse me. So we're getting close to that holiday time. We want to send our greetings to all people, the people in the hospital, the people in the parents for pot, for the flight.
People in prison.
The flight lounge, yeah.
Flight lounge.
During the holiday season, groups like the Flight Lounge is sponsoring parents or families this holiday season. Also, Parents for Pot, they have a list of families, I think categorized as like refugee families, folks that are fleeing from one state before they have less than zero laws.
Oh boy.
And prisoner of war families, they have a loved one in jail, often for, handing out medicine to sick and dying people, and on and on, So check it out. Get the links from mercycenters.org.
Okay, Ed, what's this table that we have here?
Oh, we got this here from Oregon Burlwood out of Depot Bay. They've been helping me out with gas money to get here, and they donated this table for us to check out and have on our set.
It's beautiful.
It sure is.
Beautiful top.
It is.
It really is. That's Burlwood?
Yeah, it's Burlwood. He's got sheets of this stuff. It's huge. I mean, it's like sheets.
Cool.
That is just lovely. It's a very nice piece.
And definitely we want to thank the people from Burlwood of Oregon for
Providing us.
sponsoring me, getting me here, because I'm not on the streets of Newport anymore. And I've been selling mistletoe to pay my rent. You got some too, didn't you?
I did tonight. Yes.
Absolutely.
I come up to people. I go knocking doors. I've been doing the businesses. First, I did what is it? Where I live, Toledo.
Oh, yeah.
I did $100 before I left Toledo.
Cool.
Did City Hall. They loved it. Then I went to Newport, and sure enough, I got to stack a bunch of ones together and pay my bills. So
Cool.
and when people see me coming, they see me in this suit, and they say, "We see that it's green. What do you got in there?"
You were telling me somebody sponsored you to take it to all the folks at the Newport Rehab behind
Newport
the hospital.
Rehab. My friend, she remains to be anonymous. She always has. She always gave me money for the for when I took it in for the. Put money in my devotional. People would give me money, and I'd give it to the Tracy from the Soup Kitchen. Doggone Wales. What is it?
Jonas Whale.
Jonas Whale.
Yep.
That lady.
Yep.
And Evangelical Church. It's just like people.
Anybody who's helping people, right?
And that's isn't that what
Absolutely.
we're all here about to do?
Yep.
Is help each
helping
other.
each other.
Help each other.
The patients. The
Oh,
patients
yeah.
are being hurt. They're violating our civil rights in Section 20 of the Oregon Constitution, where all people should be treated equal. This is the same as the feds. Section 18, which says all people should be treated
Absolutely.
equal.
Yep.
We've been a
Minority.
milk cow for the government. Our agency that was helping the patients ended up all in the health department. They didn't ask the patients if they could do this.
No, and
They asked ridiculous amounts to have a patient to have a outside growth site.
Oh, so it costs an arm
It's a
and leg.
hardship.
It's
It
a
is-
hardship. It creates a hardship on those
Absolutely.
who are in need. And what can we do locally, you think, Claire, to fix that? Or throughout the state?
Go to the legislation.
Yes.
Listen to it. Give your opinion if it's possible. And even though it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, even if it doesn't change things right away,
Certainly,
you have to be patient. I know,
Right.
and that's
That's
very
definitely worth the
frustrating for
effort,
people. That if it doesn't change things this year, maybe it changes things next year. That you just let people know
Or
you're
sooner.
not going away. Yeah,
That's
hopefully
right.
today.
We're
but-
going to be consistent.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So yeah, you definitely want to contact your representative at all levels, at the neighborhood level, at the city, county, state, federal, United Nations. Go for broke. When they get
And commissioners.
when they get they get the space
of us.
farce out there, make sure you give them a hook up with them too. So.
And this evening we have Claire Hall, Lincoln County Commissioner, as our special guest this evening, and we are so pleased to have you. And again, thank you so much for being here
It's a
this
pleasure
evening.
to be here. Yeah.
Totally.
But, you know something, what was it? A friend of mine who used to operate a dispensary told me, you know, this is how politics can work sometimes, that one person managed a lobbyist to get a provision into the law that dispensaries have to have 45 days of video from their security systems archived. And she said, do you know how expensive a computer system is that'll archive 45 days of video? And again, but one person probably, or one company, is making a lot of money off of that.
Who
Well, they
lobbied
put
for
it
that?
on a memory
Exactly.
chip.
Yeah, follow the money.
That's what I keep
Exactly.
saying. I'm sorry.
Yep.
And where did? Because again, if I can only get that technology from one particular company,
It's a monopoly.
yes, and that's got to
Just
stop.
like OLCC is doing with the cannabis right now.
Yeah.
That's what I want to start as a petition to get OLCC out of the cannabis. Because they're out there telling me now, I'm going to personify it real
We
quick.
should have our
They're
own
telling me
organization.
I can't be out there because of the suit, and then children are going to be attracted to this suit. And even
It's
Commissioner Hall
Ridiculous.
laughs.
Yeah. I mean, I thought you were kidding when you told me that the first time.
Well, and again, this is about education and educating our children. So again, when children come up and do talk to you, that is the perfect open door to start that conversation with children, with adults,
and I let 'em know.
everyone alike.
I let them know that if you're 20, it's not good for you to start if you're 25 until you're 25 to start smoking on it. Really, there's been studies done, and you know there's people that are going to start early no matter what I say. But if I give them that information, at least they know. And they can say, "Oh, Weedman, you're just a stick in the mud." You know, I've told young'uns, I'd say, "You know, I don't want you to do this. I'm not advocating for you to do this. You know, you need to educate yourself. We find out, you know, but don't go start smoking this." They're like, "Yeah." A couple of them like, "We know," and then one of them's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna." You know, so you're gonna get those, and we can't let the ones that say, "I'm gonna," you know, ruin
Well,
it.
that's the regulational.
No.
But people have to use cannabis at multiple ages.
Right.
You've seen people come from other states because we got the medicine.
Yep.
I have someone close to my life, and I won't mention their name. They're starting on pharmaceuticals, and I don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't want it. We'll talk about it after, guys, but I don't want it. And it's, you know, it's a shame. You know, you suffer from ADHD or whatever, and then the first thing they want to do is throw you some Ritalin.
Yep.
And what is Ritalin? Ritalin,
Yeah.
freaking speed.
Yep.
You know, speed to slow the child down. What's pharmaceutical death? I mean, CBD, we got to balance our endocannabinoid system.
Here,
That's
here.
what we got to do, and educate people. I was in the doctor's getting my card signed yesterday or day before, and sure enough, I'm in there, guys. You'd be proud of me. I was like, "Do you know what the endocannabinoid system is?" So I pulled up a video, showed it to the lady. She's like, "Oh my God!" She's the nurse taking my stuff, and even the doctor. I says, "Have you heard about the endocannabinoid?"
No.
She's like, "No." She didn't know what it was.
I'm not sure that I would want to see a doctor who did not understand how the human body worked, and the fact that everybody has a CB1 and a CB2 receptor, and that's part of that endocannabinoid system. Again, how can you say you're educated if you don't know about the one system that's part of our communication
All
network?
of our mammalian bodies. All of us.
Before
Well, any mammalian, that doesn't just include humans, that's
Exactly.
all species.
Now I wonder about the whales. I bet them too.
If it's a mammalian,
Whale's a mammal.
exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Any system, it accepts it.
Yeah, there's something that needs reform. I think medical education. I am learning how many medical providers, well, I think you all know I'm a transgender woman, don't know the very basics about how, you know, the unique things about my body as a transgender person. And that just, it sounds like medical education in this country, I mean, that's maybe one of the long-term things.
Well, they
but-
want to keep us in their focus, keep the
Right.
blinders on us
Yep.
and say, "Oh no." I mean, come on, look at it. Face it, guys. In America, the first thing you see is if you feel bad, you feel Pepto-Bismol.
Oh, yeah.
Take a pill.
Yep.
Eat some
Absolutely.
aspirin. You know. not enrich your body with what it already needs, which is the endocannabinoid system.
Cannabis.
Absolutely.
And the whole plant.
Well-
And in different forms. You don't have to smoke this stuff.
No,
so many-
edible,
You can make
topical,
You can use it as a lip
physical.
my
And
oils.
ingested.
know that.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. You know, I just unfortunately got off the phone with a young lady who has not yet received any
cool.
diagnosis, and yet they're immediately starting her on seizure meds as well as heavy-duty migraine medications.
Oh, wow.
Now, both conditions are undiagnosed, but they're starting the medications before they even finish up the testing.
Wow, so they're
and
saying
yet they're
we-
not even going to talk about an alternative.
or side effects or anything.
Exactly. And thousands of dollars that will even be talked about before they hook her up to her 3-day testing to actually find out what type of a condition she actually has, knowing whether or not her condition is seizure related or migraine related. They're starting her on
Wow.
both protocols.
Just one more reason we got to take the profit motive out of the medical
That's right.
industry. Medicaid for all.
Because the system is
Medicare
designed
for all.
for money. It's
Yes.
about money. That's
Yes.
why the advertising rules. That's why we have a system that says we can't allow cannabis for reason A, B, or C.
Right.
But then we have a
Exactly.
commercial
Yep.
where this product's going to do A, B, and C. But if we say it real fast at the end of the commercial, we're off the hook.
Exactly.
You know, that's
Can
just
cause constipation in your head to fall
freaking
off.
wrong. You know?
Just little side effects like
know.
that.
Well, you don't
Yeah.
need a head.
Well,
And it's crazy because and most times cannabis doesn't do those things.
No.
But the stuff that actually does, they're okay with it. You know,
Have
as
you
long as they
ever
get their
heard
piece
of
the
a
action.
side
You can't
effect
grow
from
that stuff.
cannabis being you could either suffer from leaky gut syndrome or possibly a heart attack, or you could just drop dead?
I've heard of them. Those aren't true.
Well, I don't mean
But
for reefer
actual-
madness, and I
yeah.
don't mean propaganda.
Actually, you
But I
know,
mean as
so-
traditional,
Yeah.
honest, realistic
I love
side
it. PK's
effects.
over there.
Oh
man.
yeah, no, they're off the charts, and we're still being ruled by it. All the laws are based on it. The last legislative session here in Oregon, every time they try to talk about it in D.C.,
But Lipitor?
at all levels,
Yeah.
and the commission meetings,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
council meetings,
yeah, yeah.
town halls, city halls. But we have to keep that conversation going. We have to keep countering it every time somebody says any of this reefer madness nonsense.
Thank you.
It's kills. It's
Thank
dangerous.
you.
It's evil. It's
Oh, no, here comes
it's addictive. And they say, well, it's a special kind of addiction. It's la la la. And again, you got to go back to follow the money for these people. We
Exactly.
have literally
Look at-
a professional cannabis prohibitionist entity, and they are government funded, and they have to keep this war going, man.
Well, and look at what they're putting
get
out
a
all
real
this.
job, yeah.
This
Exactly.
kratom. How about this kratom they're putting out there?
Yeah.
Kratom is highly addictive. It doesn't dissolve in your body. It stores in your body, and it can kill you. It can kill you. Have you heard that, Amy?
Oh yeah, it's not. I haven't heard any of the deaths yet, but it's bad. It's not as good as they all promote it to be. Come to find out.
Well, it's like that synthetic
Exactly, it's
marijuana.
yeah,
But check
Kush.
this out.
Very
I have
Synthetic
heard that
Kush.
80%.
That's what it's called, Kush.
And it's not even. I
And
don't think
I-
it's plant even.
It's
much
not.
less cannabis.
Exactly,
So.
and
no,
yet,
it's-
but they
it's
named it
kratom.
Kush. Isn't that awful?
80%.
In order to mess with the actual legal strain that's out there, which is a Kush derived natural land race, they're calling this other non-cannabis product.
kratom, you mean?
No, Kush.
The
Yeah.
synthetic
The
marijuana
synthetic
stuff.
cannabis.
Yeah.
That they're putting in products that is actually killing people.
Right.
You
It's
mean
causing
the spice?
Yes.
Spice?
Yes.
Well, I've heard that 80% of somebody's telling me, and I got to check it out. 80% of that kratom it's spice. It is spice.
Oh, okay. Well, it's just the next
It
thing.
is
Exactly.
spice.
How that stuff keeps devolving and right, and all of those see cannabis as competition. Hell,
Absolutely.
alcohol sees it as competition.
Sure.
Cigarettes see.
Why
That's
do
why
you
it's
think
so
OLCC's running?
right. That's why it's crazy.
Because-
Talk about the fox running the hen house here. God.
And
Exactly.
we're paying the most for the medical
Licensing and
that.
permits and government,
Yeah,
and
you
yet
know.
they're
It's
stealing our
ridiculous.
money
Little
and
cash
They're
grab,
violating
yeah.
our civil
It
rights.
can only keep it going, can only keep charging and everything by having the reefer madness, having to
Yeah.
keep the campaign, you know.
But they defund our program by misusing the money and allocating it to other programs, which it was not intended for.
Remember what we asked them,
And yet
PK?
it is still cannabis that is funding Oregon
What is
and hemp.
The drugs that we get from the drugstore all have overdose problems. Cannabis does not.
That's
The
right.
only thing that does not.
Exactly.
Even
When
aspirin.
we
you
were
know.
at the
Yeah, you can fatally
the
overdose on aspirin.
OLCC
but not
meeting,
cannabis,
and we
Exactly.
talked to the one guy.
You should have heard, guys, the answers that we got from the guys at OLCC at the meeting we went to. What they said. Remember what he told us?
Yeah, everything's
supposed
going.
to go.
Yeah,
He says, well, it's supposed to
It's-
go here and it's supposed to go there.
but
Exactly.
Right.
none
It was
of
his
the
exact
schools.
words.
Schools are education for our children. It needs to happen. And where's this money that the OLs have? They're supposedly going to the poor. I bet you the police department got their share
Oh, yeah.
out of
No
there.
doubt. Yeah.
Well, I think it's the administrators got to start administrating and try to make another job to make some more money for some nonsense. Well, what we really could do, I think, or need to do, is get out there and get our children educated, get the doctors educated.
Yep.
We got to get these guys educated so that they're not going to look at, oh no, here comes the weed man, or oh no, you know, or
Well,
I
the
mean,
farmers,
you can sit.
you
Now,
know,
I wouldn't sit and smoke around my child.
Other agribusinesses that
Yeah.
they had that nonsense
take a
with the grape growers, then not wanting the scent, the odor of cannabis, you know, in the air to taint their
Yes.
You're kidding.
Get over
me.
yourself.
No, I know you're
Okay.
not.
Just
Yeah.
right here, guys. These guys in where is it? North Carolina.
when you know, just the opposite. If the word
Growing
got
hemp.
out this was cannabis infused, you'd have people coming from
Oh, I'm
around.
sure.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Sure.
So
Well, and we already have cannabis-infused wines. They're already hitting the shelves, and they're
that's
already. And again, that's actually part of one of the concerns is that they're
beer,
taking
too.
some of the spotlight away from some of what they're considering the premium named wines of Oregon,
Oh,
like
my gosh.
Willamette Valley and this and that, and so. Oh, give me a break.
That's something we need to
It'll
talk
complement.
to a governor about, right? We'd like to have a governor on our side. Well, guess who's running?
Absolutely.
Going to be
Thinking
running
about
for
it,
governor?
4 years from now, I've had some friends encourage me, so this is the first time I've talked about it in public, but I've had friends encourage me, and I'm starting to do exploration. I really think not only on this issue, but on a lot of other issues, I would reflect Oregon values of diversity, of putting the people first, of helping people, taking care of people. That's what government's supposed to do, not make their lives harder, but make their lives better.
So
Thank
think
you. We
we
really.
implement some
Education. The children need education.
Yes,
They
indeed.
do.
So,
And-
if you hear
and
Claire
actually-
for governor,
Claire Hall for
2022.
governor,
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
We'll get it started
Let's
tonight.
get Claire Hall for
Maybe we'd have to-
governor
nice balloon drop.
2020.
Yeah, 2022. Kate
Oh,
Brown's
pardon
got
me,
4 more years.
2022. I
So,
apologize.
see?
You're right.
No,
We
that's
just-
okay. Yeah, she's just reelected for 4 years.
I forgot.
So
Yes, we
you
just
got to
did
start
this.
early for something this
that's
big.
true. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a definite grassroots campaign, right?
That's what it's going to take because I don't want to have to
grassroots
take any.
campaign.
Oh, I love that. I didn't even think this
Yeah.
will be a grassroots campaign of a
For
different
grassroots.
sort.
With all
Yeah.
kinds of cannabis and hemp along with it to make it awfully grassy.
Yeah.
You don't have to smoke it.
Nope.
No.
Well,
You can
you
lip
know,
balm it. You can eat it.
Kate,
Puff it.
Brown.
Ellen Rosenblum,
Uh-huh.
when they were
Where-
doing their campaigns, they weren't shy about hobnobbing with the cannabis.
Good. I'm
folks.
not going to be either.
So-
I'll
Well,
help you.
and at that, we'd like to see, our hemp fields really come into play and actually be using our own sustainable products. If we are going to be looking at pharmaceutical companies picking up our product, there is no reason we should be shipping it in already when they've already descheduled
could be
one.
making it.
Yep.
Why on earth are we bringing it in from Europe? And I need to, and so
Darn good
again,
question.
come on, we need you in there so we can actually be having this conversation
Yes.
so that we can be
Yes.
using our own Oregon products for
Exactly.
our own organ people for health care.
Yeah.
Yep.
Claire Hall for
We
governor,
have
Claire
more
Hall for
than
hemp.
enough. We have an adequate supply, and we
Grown
actually
here,
have
processed
educated
here,
people
and
who can
worn
do this.
here,
We need
right.
the
Yep.
infrastructure to make this happen.
Yes, we do.
need our hempcrete. We need our biofuel. We need all of our infrastructure. Again, there's more protein in our hemp oil.
Yeah.
So if we're using that and we're cooking with it, we're using something much better.
Yeah.
We're not having that excess waste.
Yeah.
We can use all of our plant in every part of it, all three stages of that fiber.
First and foremost, helping people, but the people who don't see what a great economic opportunity this is too. That's got to be part
Well,
of the
it's all
education too.
educated.
That's
on
what's happening.
Yeah.
People that had money now are making these multiple gardens and over here in the all oversaturating
And it's
the
about time to
field.
wrap it up.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's time
got
to say
3
goodbye to
seconds.
our
Thank
Already.
you for Mike.
Yeah.
Thank you for Shauna. You want to say anything before I turn it off, Glenn?
Yes, good night.
Good night. God bless you all, every single one of you.